Hello, YouTube. How's everybody doing today? So, how many of you were disappointed that Avengers Doomsday nor Spider Man Brand New Day had a trailer at the Super Bowl? I thought, okay, fine. Maybe they didn't want to spend the $10 million for 30 seconds. Some like really small thing, and they put like a QR code, and you zap that, and then it takes you to the YouTube actual trailer. I think that's what they kind of did for Deadpool and Wolverine. That was fun. But yeah, so I was thinking the whole time, okay, maybe they won't spend the money on it, but they're going to put it on YouTube. And I was going back and forth. I was checking it all day. I had to work like 7 to 4, but at work, I was pulling my phone. Did it drop yet? Did it drop yet? Nothing. And then during the evening, during the game, I'm like, keep checking it. Nothing. I'm disappointed in Marvel. What are you guys doing? I don't know about you. I don't understand. Like, why give us these 1 minute and 20-second character teasers for Avengers Doomsday from late December into very early January, and then not do a full-on 2 minute, 30-second thing with showing Doctor Doom and X-Men funny alongside Avengers and the Fantastic Four, something we've been looking forward to for 25 years to see them all together. Oh. Maybe even like a quick scene of like Avengers versus X-Men. Both sides think that the other side is the bad guys until eventually Professor X uses powers and says, hey, they're good guys on their planet, their Earth. They're from another dimension, another universe. Stop fighting! And does the thing in his head, makes everybody freeze. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen from the leaks I've read and other rumors going around. There is going to be a small, maybe like an end of Act 1, beginning of Act 2 thing where there's an actual fight, like a Avengers versus X-Men. But let's get some hype going. I know Marvel, it's almost a year away. I get that. I mean, we're almost right on the mark of, what is today, the 10th? Comes out the 18th. So, was it 10 months? 10 months and 10 days or something? Pretty close to that. Okay, it's pretty far away, but like I said, why would you show a minute and 20-second of these character-driven teasers at almost 12 months from when the movie comes out, and then not have anything, some meaty that you could chew on, like, oh, and us YouTubers and everybody who's just excited about the movie can just go back to that trailer and watch it and go, wow, I can't wait. Like, they don't have to, I'm not saying, do a teaser and a full-on trailer every month, every other month. But if you're going to do it, the minute 20-second thing, you might as well give us an actual trailer. And what better time than the Super Bowl, which is like movie trailer central. You got the big game, and then you go to commercial, and you watch at least one trailer when it goes to commercial. And then maybe some goofy commercials. Which, by the way, I think the Goodwill Dunkin' commercial was the best one. There's one I can't remember what it was. It was funny. It was laugh out loud, but it came out like the very beginning of the first quarter of the game. And I don't remember what it was. But now I keep seeing reviews of Goodwill Dunkin' on TikTok and making of and how they did all that. I'm like, it was so great. For somebody who grew up in the 80s and 90s, that was awesome. Someone who was like, I was 10 years old in 1990. So anything hardcore 1990s, I remember, as clear as a bell. And so that commercial was just hilarious with almost every major character, well, maybe not major character, but a character from every major sitcom then. Like Different World, Seinfeld, Family Matters, Cheers, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was hilarious. Anywho, put in your comments which trailer you liked the most. I mean, for patriotic and just feeling it, yes, the horse with the eagle, that was pretty dope. But that Budweiser, Bud Light commercial, they're trying to get the fan base back after that catastrophe a couple years ago. Anyway, so hold on to your whatever you want to hold on to. I think we're gonna get a trailer for both Doomsday and Spider-Man Brand New Day here very shortly. I mean, President's Day. Somebody's birthday coming up here. What, Abraham Lincoln's birthday or something? I'm not sure that's the movie trailer weekend, but I think it's coming. It's odd they didn't put out on YouTube, like that on the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to get enough complaints going, where's my trailer? Do you know how many trailers came out for movies that are coming out in June and July? Especially July? A few. And Spider-Man comes out in July as well. So why? That was just Sony. Sony's in charge of the marketing for Spider-Man with this deal that Marvel and Sony have going on. So Sony taking their time. But it's going to come out soon because there's been a lot of trailers for movies that come out in July. So I'm sure it's going to come out here very, very soon. There's a second leaked trailer has come out. It went up and then back down again. They got hold of that pretty quick. And a description of the trailer is out there floating around on the internet. Sounds pretty crazy. One of the theories is that the plot of it will happen at the exact same time as the plot of Avengers Doomsday. I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, New York City, of course, a lot of crazy things are going to happen in Doomsday in New York City. I think a lot of it happens in the comics from New York City. They're looking at the other New York City from the other Earth that's going to crash into our Earth. So, like, if all that is happening, wouldn't Spider-Man see that and go, "Hey, Avengers, do you need my help?" So I can't completely buy into it, but I mean, they kind of did that with Ant-Man 2, right? That happened at the exact same time as Infinity War, or at least the second ending happened like the exact same time as the end of Infinity War because, Hope and Van Dyne's got snapped away while Scott was in the microverse. So it makes it seem like it wasn't that long after the main plot of the movie. But I'm sure like some time went by. And the plot of Infinity War took place in like probably almost a day. I mean, really, 24 hour, maybe 36 hours. It's pretty. I don't know. I don't see how that can happen. What do you think, guys? You think it'll happen at the same time? It could make for a fun twist, though. At the end of the movie, you're like, Spider-Man's, a spider tingly's going off. What is going on? That looks like another Earth. I'd say, if anything, it'd be more like a second ending thing. Anywho. So, just in case you haven't heard or you haven't seen my past videos talking about this, the other characters involved in Spider-Man 4 Brand New Day will be the Punisher, who we've seen from the Netflix series, and then he showed up real quick in the Daredevil Born Again Season 1. John Bernthal, actor extraordinaire. If you guys missed that Punisher from Netflix, same actor who was in The Walking Dead for a few seasons. Everybody loved that character. The actor did a great job. He's kind of up and coming. He's done a few other side characters in different movies. He's in Wolf of Wall Street. I saw it. He's in this new series. Oh, what's it called? Where's he? Is he either Prime or Netflix? Looks like he plays a detective. And it's just kind of, there's a murder and some kind of banter with his wife. It looks interesting, at least fun. Anyway, I mean, he's out there. He's not huge. You know, he's not Tom Cruise. You know? Anywho, so we got Punisher. So that's gonna be a fun interaction between guy who's just like shoot first, ask questions later, and then Spider-Man, who's like, I could just web him up and let the authorities take him. And that's probably a good idea. How about Mr. Punisher guy? Mr. Punisher, how about we don't shoot them? And he's like, forget you. So there's been a few like leaks of them filming, and it looks interesting. Like Spider-Man on the hood of the Punisher's truck, military truck, like van thing, and he's sitting on the hood going, "Mr. Punisher, dude, can we talk about this?" I know. Don't quit my day job, but I really want to. There is this rumor that there's this thing with the comics that a spider has a few different like life cycles, things that happen to him, and since he was mutated essentially from the spider bite, right? We all know. So genetically, he's half spider in a way, but it's not like the movie The Fly, all right? Nothing like that weird happens. Basically, he's just super strong and resilient. You could just beat him over the head, you know, with a building, and he'd be fine. And he'll crawl away. And his strength is quite up there, and we've seen hints of that in the movies. More so, I think, in other iterations with Tobey Maguire. Maybe Andrew Garfield. As far as strength goes, I was kind of bummed about that. He doesn't really show the strength. He doesn't quite understand the strength. Like in the first movie, we see a lot of that in Civil War when he was first introduced. But then when he had his own solo movie, he was like, I don't know. And it took him like to kind of talk to himself, like the mask below him. He's like, I am a Spider-Man. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. And he had like half a building sitting on top of him, and he went, oh, like there you go. Now you're remembering you're strong again. And the second movie was all about his Peter Tingle. Basically, he's like sixth sense, whatever. If something bad's gonna happen, and that was really important to the plot of that movie because the bad guy put him in such hallucination. Like, you can't tell what is what. So it took a sixth sense to go, no, the person I'm going after is right here, even though you look like you're over there. Right? So that part was fun. Anywho, so we only see a few hints of who Spider-Man truly is from the comics in the Tom Holland version. Sorry, I didn't want this to be a long video. Anywho, so supposedly we're going to see one of these life cycles happen. In the comics, like, he goes into a cocoon. I don't know if they're going to go that far. Just because that'll get kind of weird, especially for your average viewer. Like, this never happened in our Spider-Man movie. It goes into a cocoon. Like, what is he going to change into? And his is going to be normal, but he's going to have maybe an upgrade, so stronger, faster, different things like that. But and maybe even get what Tobey Maguire had, which was a bio webbing that his body naturally produces, which he doesn't really have in the comics, except for like the one iteration that was explored. It was always mechanical to make the webbing, but his spider powers were super strength, super durability. So anyway, my light's about to go out. That's why I'm looking over there. So yeah, he goes, supposedly, now he's got to take everything with a grain of salt. So then he finds out about maybe this life cycle is going to happen. He's having trouble with some of his spider powers, and he goes to Bruce Banner for help. Like testing him genetically, see if he still has the spider stuff in him and what's going on. So Bruce Banner helps him out, and then something happens with Bruce Banner, because we don't really know who the main villain is yet, which is interesting. There's been a few theories. We'll see what's going to happen with that. But something's going to happen to where Bruce Banner will become Rage Hulk again, which we haven't seen since Thor Ragnarok, really. Man, that was a while ago. But not only that, but he'll be the Gray Hulk. And that's kind of meta because back in the early times of Hulk comics, they wanted him to be a certain shade, right? And they had inking problems. And when he came out on the pages, he was gray, right? So it's going to be like, how do you put that into the movies if you're going to get kind of meta about that? And it's going to be something about his power set that's going to happen where he won't be green for a little bit, he'll be gray. And that's going to be a very interesting dynamic. It'll be very meta for all of us comic book readers. Will look at it and go, ooh. He's only been hinted at gray a few times in live action, like just covered in a building's ash dust. We've seen from the Edward Norton one, and maybe his silhouette would look kind of grayish before he came into light. Things like that. But this is going to be quite an interesting thing. The Punisher and Spidey will have to take down Gray Rage Hulk bring him back down to green, where he's a bit more reasonable. We've seen in Thor Ragnarok, you can still kind of talk to him, but you're kind of talking to Hulk. You're not really talking to Bruce Banner. But it's not Smart Hulk either. We're all tired of Smart Hulk. They're going to figure a way to end that. We don't mind if we don't see Bruce Banner for a while. If we get to Thor Ragnarok Hulk, that would be cool. Essentially, it's Ragnarok Hulk, Rage Hulk, who is, because he's Hulk for so long, he can start thinking for himself. Because Hulk is kind of like a baby, just a rageful baby. But he's only has time in being Hulk and learning things when he is Hulk. And typically he's only Hulk for a little bit while Bruce Banner's angry, right? That's the way I've heard it put, why he's able to talk and why he seems a little smarter in Thor Ragnarok. Why he was able to stop turning back into Bruce Banner when he's not angry. Because eventually he got smart enough to be like, no, I'm staying as Hulk. So, and we also have a newer character, Sadie Sink, who we know from the Stranger Things. There's quite the evidence that she may be a Jean Grey from the X-Men, who somehow got into our universe from the X-Men universe. There's a lot of guesses. She might be a lot of different characters, but I keep saying because she might have telepathy and telekinesis powers, that who else would she be but Jean Grey? Or maybe a child of Jean Grey and Scott Summers. And I forget her comic name, something Summers. So she would have all that. But it's not Jean Grey. It's just, her mom is Jean Grey, right? Hope this isn't too much for you. I'm just telling you about everything we're hearing about a brand new day. Looking forward to it because I hope they don't put too many characters in it that it's almost overwhelming that people are like, Because almost every Spider-Man movie that's come out, especially with Tom Holland, has been just a banger. Just the best. They've all hit $1 billion. I mean, the second and third movie hit $1 billion. I'm not sure on Homecoming, the first movie. But it was up there. It was like 700, 800 million brought in. The third one, No Way Home, where it had the other two Spider-Man in it. I mean, that brought in quite a few. It's over $1 billion. It's up there. So just the movie come out alone is going to do great that first weekend. It just depends how long it carries, how many weeks, how many different times people will want to go see it again and again to bring it back up into $1 billion. And let's be honest, Marvel could use that again. Excuse me. Of course, this is a Sony and Marvel thing, so Sony really gets the brunt of this, but the story is in the Marvel universe. It's in our universe, which is designated number 616. In the early Marvel days, it was 19999. I think it's called both in the comics, but for the most part, it's 616. And I think they've adjusted it to 616. Well, 24 minutes. Might wrap it up here, guys. I hope you're getting excited. When this trailer does come out, it's going to show some pretty awesome things. Get excited with me. We'll talk about it when it comes out. And Avengers Doomsday, I'm sure that one's going to be coming out here soon. I know it makes perfect sense for him to sit on it for another 6 months of not showing any trailer or teaser. But like I said, they did that minute and 20-second, 4-minute 20-second character teasers. We want, like, give us something more, some meaty. Some of them didn't even have any, like, real fun stuff in it, except for maybe the X-Men, when we got to see Cyclops ripped off his mask. And he was like, ah! And he wearing a comic book outfit. I mean, that was pretty dope. But that was like 5 seconds. The rest of the trailer was like, but you did get to see Magneto and Charles playing chess real quick, and that's fun to see him at it again. And then Wakanda and Fantastic Four and T'Challans, which is the underwater people. Marvel's Atlas or whatever. The underwater people. And M'Baku shakes the Thing's hand. And, a little interaction from people we haven't seen being on the screen together. So, like, it'll be fun. It's a little bit of Marvel and old Fox coming together in that little quick trailer. So, that was fun, but again, Marvel, come on. Like, don't leave hanging with those 4 teeny tiny teasers. You could barely even call it a teaser. So, anyway, keep your eye out. Click like on my video, if you would, please. That'll help me out with the algorithm, so I get more views. I mean, this isn't just a vlog, like a diary. This is something I want to share with people. Things that are coming. There's a lot of YouTubers out there discussing all things Marvel and the movies and everything else out there. So I don't want to get lost in that flood, but this is fun, and I just want to be able to share this with you. So again, if you click like, just smash that like button and help me out with the algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. There's always fresh rumors and leaks that we can discuss. Later, my YouTube friends.